The story begins by showing Will Saul is waking up in the morning and he can still live for the next 24 hours. And this is his mother, who looks very young because her physical body has stopped aging at the age of 25. His mother will go to work to pay for daily needs and promises to meet her son tomorrow at the bus stop. When he was about to go to work, his mother gave Will 30 minutes so that he could come for lunch.
I love you.
Then Will went to work. Here Will saw people who died because they ran out of time. When Will finished work, Will lined up to receive his wages. His wages were not money, but time. That night when Will was at the bar, his friend immediately told Will that there was someone who had a century of time.
You!
Then Will approached the person and advised him to leave immediately because it was not safe for him to be here with that much time. Not long after, a group of thugs really came who wanted to steal time from the person. Will immediately helped the person escape and ran to an empty building.
Where the hell are you going? Get in here!
Finally, there they were safe and introduced themselves to each other. In the morning when Will was still asleep, the person gave all his time to Will. And when Will woke up, he was surprised to see that his time had become a century. The person gave his time for free because he had lived too long and was really bored. That night, Will's mother would meet Will as promised. But when he got on the bus, it turned out that the bus fare was 2 hours, whereas previously it was only 1 hour.
I have an hour and a half.
His mother, who didn't have enough time, immediately got off and ran to meet Will. Will, who was already at the bus stop, didn't find his mother. Then he immediately ran to find his mother. Here Will saw his mother from a distance. Then they both ran to approach each other. His mother only had a few seconds left. But unfortunately, the time was not right and his mother died right in Will's arms. And that made Will very sad. The next day, Will planned to go to New Greenwich by renting a luxury car. On the other hand, the person who gave his time to Will was found and investigated by the timekeeping police. With the help of CCTV, Will has now become a suspect and a fugitive. Back to Will arrived in the city of Greenwich. There, he stayed at a luxury hotel with a rent of 2 months per night. That night, Will went somewhere and met Phillips Weiss, a rich man who had a money-lending business at banks everywhere. Then Mr. Weiss introduced his daughter, Sylvia Weiss. After that, Will was invited to play poker, and Will won a lot in the poker game.
13 figures.
When Will wanted to go home, Mr. Weiss invited Will to come back tomorrow night to play poker again at his house, because it happened that there would be a party at Mr. Weiss' house. The next day, Will went to Mr. Weiss' house by driving a luxury car that he had previously bought for 59 years. After arriving, Will approached his daughter, Sylvia, and asked her to dance. Sylvia seemed to like Will, and vice versa. On the other hand, the timekeeper finally found out about Will's whereabouts and immediately went to meet Will at Mr. Weiss' house. While they were dancing, the timekeeper came and caught Will. The timekeeper asked Will how he could get that much time. Will replied that he got that much time from yesterday's poker win. However, the timekeeper did not believe him and then confiscated all of Will's time and only left 2 hours for the next check. When he was about to be taken to the police station, Will fought back and was forced to take Sylvia hostage so he could escape. Finally, Will managed to escape and return to his place of origin with Sylvia, whom he held captive. After arriving, Will called Sylvia's father to ask for a ransom of 1,000 years.
Sunrise tomorrow and she can go home.
Will and Sylvia stayed overnight at Will's house. Here they chatted and made Sylvia a little impressed and finally really liked Will. Will explains what he wants to do. Namely, Will wants to destroy the existing system because of injustice, where the price of transportation, taxes, interest rates, and so on are getting higher, while the salary of time is getting smaller, which makes people like Will have to die because of the imbalance. In the morning, it turned out that Sylvia's father did not give the time that had to be paid to redeem his daughter, Sylvia. Then Sylvia gave Will a little plan to get time from her father. When Sylvia was calling her father, the timekeeper from behind wanted to shoot Will. However, Sylvia, who was aware of this, immediately shot the timekeeper. Then Will and Sylvia left using the timekeeper's car. And now the timekeeper and Mr. Weiss think that his son is indeed working with Will, so now Sylvia is also considered a fugitive by the timekeeper. Because he couldn't keep driving using a police car, Will and Sylvia finally stole a car. Now the news of Will and Sylvia's crimes has spread to various corners of the world. But Sylvia really did not regret what she had done. Now she understood very well that her father was the one who was so greedy that he caused many people to die. The police had issued an order to arrest Sylvia too. Then her father wanted to bribe her by giving her a lot of time wages, but the timekeeper did not want that. A moment later, at a time-lending bank from outside, a truck crashed and went straight inside. It was Will and Sylvia. They immediately stole a lot of time from the bank owned by Sylvia's father. Sylvia did not forget to share the time with the lower-class people there. Will also gave the time to his friends who had done him a favor. That night, Will again shared the time with the lower-class people there. The system immediately became unstable and made the timekeeper even more confused. Now the lower-class people have hope. Even now they can fight the thugs who often steal time from them. Now the reward for anyone who can catch Will and Sylvia will be given 10 years of time. Then that night the timekeeper found out where Will and Sylvia were. Then they immediately forced their way in, but Will and Sylvia found out and managed to escape through a window. But the timekeeper kept chasing them. In the end, Will and Sylvia managed to escape by getting into a bus. In the morning, they went to a hotel to stay. Will booked all the rooms and told the hotel guard to close the hotel. But unfortunately, someone saw them and found out that Will and Sylvia were fugitives. That night, the person who saw Will became one of the victims of blackmail by thugs. Because he was afraid that his time would be taken, the person told him where Will and Sylvia were. The thugs immediately came to the place and immediately found the two of them who were in a room. Then the thug challenged Will to a game, but luckily Will knew how to win the game. And immediately killed them all. Will and Sylvia immediately left there. Now interest rates are going up again. Of course that makes Will even more emotional. Because that's what makes people, and including his mother, die. Finally, Sylvia gave a suggestion and strategy that was so crazy. The next day, Sylvia came to one of her father's companies and surrendered herself.
I want to surrender.
But in a conversation, Will came from behind and pointed a gun at Mr. Weiss, Sylvia's father. All of this was a trap that Will and Sylvia had planned before. Mr. Weiss was immediately taken to a room, and there was a very long time, which was 1 million years. Will took that 1 million years with Sylvia. Before they left, Mr. Weiss told them that what they both did would disrupt the system until the next generation. But Will was very sure that what he did would give hope to the lower classes to continue living. The Time Guard police who found out about it immediately panicked. Because there was a time that was so big that it had come out of its territory for 1 million years, and that was a big problem. The Time Guard immediately went to look for Will and Sylvia. Not long after, the Time Guard found them and there was a chase using a car. It turned out that at the border the police had put up tight securities so that Will and Sylvia could not bring 1 million years of time out of this zone. But Will and Sylvia managed to break through it. After arriving, Will immediately gave the 1 million years of time to his friend to be distributed to the lower class people. And the people there immediately attacked that time. Will and Sylvia then continued running to avoid the timekeeper. When the timekeeper managed to catch Will and Sylvia, the timekeeper forgot that the time in his hands would soon run out. He forgot to fill his time because he was too busy chasing Will and Sylvia. Then the timekeeper immediately died because he had run out of time. But now Will and Sylvia had 1 minute left. Finally, Will remembered that in the timekeeper's car, there was time that he could take to stay alive. They immediately ran towards the car, and finally, Will arrived first and immediately filled his time. After filling his time, Will immediately ran towards Sylvia to transfer his time to Sylvia's so that she would not die. Luckily, Will succeeded and they both survived. Now the system is completely destroyed. People are excited again because they have enough time. They finally moved to New Greenwich to get a better life. The police have given up and there is nothing they can do but surrender. Now Will and Sylvia are planning something again. They will steal time from a bigger bank to save more people, and the movie ends. Okay guys, so that's the review of the movie In Time. The meaning of this movie is actually really good if understood, which is where greedy people will make the lower class suffer. So that's all for this movie review. For those who want to request a movie, please write it in the comments column, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Finally, I say thank you for watching. Waiting for the next videos. Don't worry, be happy guys. Bye.